Freedom of speech is not freedom from consequences. Everybody understands that. Freedom of speech doesn't mean you are free to say whatever you want. A lot of people really get mistaken on this. They think that the founding fathers, who were very smart enlightenment guys, and these weren't just regular guys, these were really educated guys in a period that was the most amount of new thought and discussion that was happening in the world at a time when ideas were being generated like never before. Because you know what? Finally, they were allowed to. The church couldn't stop them. Kings and queens couldn't stop them. Emperors couldn't stop them. Government couldn't stop them. It was a good time to be in charge of a country. And these guys made free speech such an important part of their philosophy, because they wanted people to be free. This is the point. To develop ideas. You weren't free to just go into society and say whatever you want, because you remember there's a thing called the social contract, and if you remember, the social contract is giving up freedoms for the collective good, giving up freedoms so that society can function. If we do not give up some of our freedoms, we cannot interact with each other. We cannot have a society that works. If I feel slighted and I take out my revenge personally, it descends into chaos. If everybody's doing that, we've lost all control. So we give up the freedom of revenge or retaliation, and we hand it over to the courts and law and authorities. We do this, we give up that freedom for the collective good. Free speech is meant to stop government from inhibiting on your right to express your ideas, to talk about your ideas, to debate your ideas, to contribute to the general knowledge of society. It is not a free pass, and it's also not a right to be able to say your ideas. It's not a free pass to go out and say whatever you want, and it's not a right to a platform. Chad at the baseball game, calling out to the baseball player there and being roundly punished for it, is not anything to do with free speech. Absolutely nothing to do with free speech, and more about the social contract. He made a joke. To him, it was a joke, and he thought he was protected because it was a joke. Now, the thing about jokes is they have to be funny. That's not funny. Actually, the people around him thought it was funny. I think they were probably more embarrassed than anything. But he was roundly punished. Nobody claimed that that was a free speech issue. Yet, when those guys in the matching outfits, blue shirts, beige chinos, assorted footwear, go into the street with their flags that they then lay on the bed of trucks, which in the US is not punishable, unfortunately, they too are not saying anything funny, and neither are they contributing to any ideas. They have come together in that form to intimidate. It is not a free speech issue. Now, they are free to think it, and they are free to say it, and the police have to protect them saying it. But when they jump 15, 20 into the back of a U-Haul, that's breaking the law. When they lay all those flags on the bed of the truck, that's not breaking the law. But when they all jump in on top of it, that's breaking the law. And that's when they need to be arrested. That is not infringing on their free speech. They are not saying anything anyway. That's my point. They're not saying anything. They're talking about things that we've already debated. If the founding fathers were to look at that case, they see a bunch of guys jump out of the back of a wagon, stand up in formation, and say absolutely nothing, they would not regard that as free speech. Now, as soon as they started saying their political views, yes, that would be regarded as free speech. But society is well within their rights to not put up with it. The government has to. The government can't do anything about it, but the people can. The people can interrupt that, stop it, deny them that platform, because the people don't need that idea. They don't want that idea. They've had that idea. It's been tested and rejected. There's no further need for them to come together. My further argument on this is that it's a recruitment drive, allowing them to go out there and do their little display in their matching outfits and prance around, espousing their very nonsensical but simple ideas. It's going to appeal to someone. As some would say, the free speech absolutists will say, if you don't let them speak, it will fester. No, it won't fester. If anything, if we don't let them do it, they may just go away. They may just grow out of it, and they may just not recruit any more to their cause. Society roundly punished Chad, as societies should roundly punish the Beige Chino boys. The founding fathers would not see this as a case that they had in mind of being able to criticize the king, being able to criticize the church, being able to criticize the government. The amendment for free speech was for the development of ideas. You are allowed to say stupid things, but you're not entitled to it. If your speech has no content, if your speech is not valid, it is not to be respected by society. Freedom of speech protects you from the government. It doesn't protect you from being a moron. So we don't need less free speech. We need more smarter speech. We need better speech. We need real debate, real thinking, and real disagreement. And that's how free speech wins. This is Langstan.